Oh, yeah, I can see it's in recovery mode there. So we're live, just so you know now. So it's broadcasting on YouTube into the Kitty Boss Facebook group and the Kitty Boss Facebook page. And obviously there's no viewers yet. It always takes them a few minutes to trickle in. So welcome. We're recording this a little bit later because you were off sick, I guess, with laryngitis. But of course, I'm glad that you're back. What, 95% there, voice-wise?
Yeah, I'm a strong 95%. I had laryngitis for most of the week, but my voice is trickling back, so thank you.
Yeah, I remember once I had laryngitis, and this is actually a funny story. Is I was in Hollywood at the time seeking an agent, and I had gotten laryngitis, but not the kind where your voice completely goes, but it's the kind where I sounded a bit like James Earl Jones, like I had a really deep, gravelly voice. And this one agent, Susan, she loved the voice. She complimented me on my voice. I didn't have the heart to tell her that I'm just sick. I don't know. It's not my real voice. So she actually signed me to represent me for a while. And I was like, and eventually I guess she found out and caught on that wasn't my real voice. But it was just a very, very funny thing that my voice was complimented when I was actually sick. So I wanted to show you something because as you may or you probably don't remember, Saturday, April 2nd was my birthday. So Cat Lady Justin.
That momentous day.
Oh, thank you. So we're older now, but somebody very, very thoughtful, shout out to Damien, got me a present, and it was a total surprise. It actually arrived via Amazon because he wasn't in the country to present it to me. So via Amazon on the day with a lovely little note, the absolute perfect present that you could get me. Because as you know, obviously I love people, but I love cats more. But then there's another thing I love, which is Star Trek. Among my little things that I'm a Trekkie. I have probably seen every single episode of every single Star Trek show that is available to be watched at this point, including the 1970s animated series with Captain Kirk and Spock and all that. And most people haven't seen that. I've seen every episode of that. So I love Star Trek and I love cats, and I didn't know this existed, but take a look at this t-shirt that I'm wearing that I got for my birthday.
Oh my goodness.
So it is Star Trek and cats. And what they did perfectly is, they have Spock as they have Captain Kirk as the Ginger Tom. They have Scotty is a Scottish fold. I think you can't see it from here, but they've got Uhura, and then they've got Chekhov no, that's not Chekhov, that's Sulu. Chekhov down here, you can't see him. He is a Russian blue. So they actually matched the characters with the breed of cat, and it's the cutest shirt ever. It's my new favorite t-shirt because it's Star Trek and cat. So how perfect is that?
I love it. What a great gift.
I just need my video to recognize me over here. Since I moved around, it thinks I'm still the background and it's blurring me, which is probably going to last for another couple minutes. But that's okay because the important part really is the voice, because we put it on the Apple Podcast and everywhere else. And then the video for YouTube hopefully is, maybe people watch it there too. That'd be cool. So today is we're about a week away from, or less than about a week away from Easter, and we discussed already things to do with Easter and candy and keeping certain things away from cats that we should do, and holiday time, but it's also springtime now. So instead of talking about and obsessing about Easter, which we've already done, let's talk about the springtime and things like spring cleaning. Because I don't know if you've seen, but I've posted kind of off and on because I don't want to get into, I don't know, maybe I should have done it, but I didn't want to do like a series and then stop talking about it. I just thought I'd pepper it in here and there about teeth, dental care for cats. So I've started posting, interesting details about, realistic dental care for cats. In the future, there's coming, a few episodes about tips to do with dental care, brushing, and all that kind of stuff. And so for now, I've just talked about things to do with the teeth. And there's a lot of interesting things. It's obviously, in my opinion, and you may share a different opinion with me, the wrong thing to do is nothing. So the wrong thing to do is just completely neglect the cat's mouth. And that's when you get the stinky mouth and the teeth that fall out and the mangly thing. And also it can lead to diseases internally in the heart and other places, other organs. So in my opinion, you don't have to go hog wild of keeping your cats pristine, like show cat quality, but you do need to kind of brush the cat's teeth once a day. And that's what I do. So what do you think about brushing the cat's teeth?
Yeah, I think dental care for cats is so important, especially because cats, they won't let you know if their teeth are hurting, and then the disease can spread. So they're very good at hiding, illnesses, and they're very good at hiding pain because it's an instinct. They don't want any predators to know that they're vulnerable in any way, shape, or form. So the best thing, as you said, Justin, is to have preventive care and to brush your cat's teeth regularly. Now, not everybody can do this. I completely understand. If you're someone who has adopted an older cat and that cat is not used to having her mouth touched, this could be, a problem for you if you start putting your hands into your cat's mouth. And I don't want anybody listening to now look like a long lost member of the Van Gogh family. So there are things that you can do if you have a cat who's really not going to let you touch her mouth. Now, if you have a young cat, you've adopted a kitten, absolutely start right away and get that cat used to having her teeth brushed. They usually don't mind it. Many of the toothpaste come in all kinds of yummy flavors that cats really love. But if you have an older cat, I really suggest bringing her to the veterinarian regularly. The vet can clean the teeth. The vet can brush the teeth. The vet can remove any tartar. There are also prescription cat foods that are specifically made to remove tartar from cats' teeth too. So yeah, dental care is very, very important. Diseased teeth can actually lead to other infections in the cat. So you absolutely want to pay attention to your cat's teeth.
Yeah, I mean, it's what I was alluding to earlier. They lead to the other diseases. And you said the T word and the P word. So tartar, I did an episode that goes into more details on it, but just very basically, tartar is like a film that's on the teeth. And you can brush it away easily, but you do got to brush it away. It won't just, rinse out when they drink their water. There are cat foods that can help with that, but I really do think, if at all possible, it's the best thing to do is to try and get them brushed or get them used to it. And there's tips to do that. There's the little, you can take them through a little process where you start with just the finger, a little towel-y thing that goes on the finger, and you rub it around, and you get them used to the toothpaste, and you never use human toothpaste. You can kill, some of them have xylitol in it. You could kill them with that. So you want to make sure that you use a cat toothpaste, cat specific, which generally will taste like chicken or meat or whatever. And you get them used to that. Then you go to the little brush, and you just graduate them through into a proper brushing like I do with my cats. I should record a video. It's kind of funny with you can actually get an actual brushing of the cat's mouth, and they don't love it. It's not like a pleasurable activity, but they tolerate it and they let me do it once a day. And I think that's enough. And so the wrong thing to do is nothing, because you think, even I brush my cat's teeth once a day. Emily still had to have dental surgery, 2 extractions, and a descaling professionally done. So even though I do that, I asked the vet, am I wasting my time and annoying the cat? And he said, no, because it's another thing that went on there. So it's still worth doing, because it could have been far worse, I guess, if I hadn't been doing that. And luckily it was just 2 teeth. The rest of them were fine. She had the descaling. So that's something that's done professionally. To remove plaque requires a professional descaling at the vet. You cannot remove plaque at home. So what you don't want to do is let the tartar turn into plaque. And that's what happens when you don't brush your cat's teeth and get the tartar out every day, is it transforms into plaque, and then whammo. And then the back teeth get it usually worse than the front teeth, although different cats might have different habits of the way they chew and eat. And so, so I was really into the teeth, because I think it's something really important, and also something really neglected. I had an old boss once that had 3 cats, and he used to show pictures of them, and they were lovely cats, but he was really the epitome of the neglectful thing. Like, the cats get kicked out of the house at night. So he doesn't want them in the house at night, and or he throws them in the laundry room, and then he doesn't take them to the vet ever. So they don't have their shots. They got nothing. He doesn't brush their teeth, obviously. Nothing. all very long-lived cats. So remarkably speaking, despite his sort of neglectful attitude with the cats, they've all made it to quite a healthy, long life into their 20s. So it's also weird to say that I recommend that because I have an exception that I know. But I would rather err on the side of, okay, so his cat's lucked out and didn't end up with heart disease and other ailments. But other cats end up with a rotting mouth and ailments and all that. So you want to be really careful with that. The other thing to do with the teeth is the quality food is going to make a big impact. And it's not just, oh, crunchy versus this. It's really, if you feed them the bottom of the barrel stuff, and I won't name them because I don't want to get sued or anything, but you know what it is. The stuff you go and you buy it at the cheap store, at the Poundland or whatever you call it, or dollar store or wherever, and you buy the cheapest of the cheap cat food. That stuff is probably not good for them. Just like it wouldn't be good for you to buy, eat a diet of like potato chips and processed foods. And so really there are brands out there that specialize in higher end cat foods, higher quality. Now, my recommendation is always human grade. And that's what I buy them. I buy them food that is human grade. In other words, you wouldn't want to eat it because it's probably not tasty, but you could do because it's actually fit for human consumption. That's a broad generality. Now, I feed them this sort of dehydrated food that I reconstitute, and it's raw meats that are rehydrated, and that's a preference. Some people, that's too much. And like we talked about last week, you want to feed them what you can feed them, and you don't want to say to yourself, and the other thing is, if all you can afford is the cheap stuff at Poundland or the dollar store, depending on your country, then go for it. As long as the cat has a home, that's more important than feeding them expensive food. And so the reality is, though, it's going to be better for their teeth if they have higher quality food, because the gut affects the teeth just like it does in humans. If you live on fast food, you'll have worse teeth than if you live on other stuff.
Yes.
And again, I know there's exceptions. There's always exceptions to every rule. Nothing is it's in biology and in life is black and white, 100%. But that's kind of where I go with the whole sort of teeth thing and cleaning thing and all of that. So, so anything you'd add?
I do want to add one important thing.
Yeah.
And that is, you will see at some pet supply stores treats that claim that they're made, for dental care for cats. And you'll see treats that say dental or, help clean teeth. So what I'd like to inform your viewers and listeners to is that the most important thing in terms of using food to clean a cat's teeth is the size of the dry food, the size of the kibble. So many cats don't actually chew their food. So if you spend money to buy a dental treat and the treat is the size of a traditional kibble, it's kind of teeny tiny, it's not going to do anything to clean that cat's teeth. So in order for a dental treat to be effective, it has to be large. So I do find, kind of going back to Justin's point, that if you are going to buy dental treats for your cat, really get something that's a little more high end, or even through your veterinarian, because they will sell you the treats that are the proper size that the cat has to chew in order to eat it. And those are the only treats that are really going to help your cat's teeth.
Yeah, that's a good point, because I have definitely seen those things that are tiny, and my Emily is not a chewer. She likes to just lick and swallow, and she rarely chews. She will, but it's not often that I catch her like chewing on something. So I sometimes get treats, and if the treat's big enough, it doesn't even need to be a dental treat.
Right.
Like I have freeze-dried things that the cats really like as treats that I get they're a German company, so probably not, I don't know if it's available in the US, but it's a German company, and here in Europe we got it, and it's called Meow Meow, spelled with a J because it's German. And so it was, one of the packages was freeze-dried horse meat. So apologies to my friends who love horses, but my cats eat horse, as do I sometimes. Okay, rare, because it's hard to find, but it's good stuff. But anyway, that's a whole other story. So it's this, and some of the chunks were big, and so Emily would have to go and start to chew it into little chunks because it's really tasty, fit for human consumption as well. Not that I tried it, but we went at it. So actually, if you get something like that, even as long as they're chewing into it, that can help. And then there's certain chemical or minerals that they stick in there that neutralize the acidity and do that kind of stuff. But I'm not sure that those claims that I've seen on packages are true or not, but I've seen them. So it's just something to keep in mind. And I would definitely say if you're worried, discuss it with your vet. If your cat's mouth stinks, you definitely need to discuss that with your vet, because I have 2 cats. One's 10, one's 8. Well, one's going to be 11 soon in May. So in a month, she's 11, and Charlotte will be 9 in September. And neither of them have ever had stinky mouth. So they've never had fishy breath, nothing. Yeah. So if your cat has really bad breath, you might want to go and have that checked out, because there might be something going on there in the mouth, some gingivitis, there might be something else going on. And it's really important to check it out. When in doubt, it's always a good idea to see the vet. And
always have the vet look at it. And if you see if the gums look like they're maybe bleeding or they look discolored, as Justin said, run that by your veterinarian, because a lot of problems, if they're handled right away, you can prevent having to have teeth removed or, something more involved. If you get something done promptly, or you get on a schedule, if you can't brush your cat's teeth, or you're just the type that you feel like that's not for you, that don't have the option as Justin said, don't do anything. Seek out a vet. Some of those, some teeth brushing, it can even sometimes be done by a vet tech. So if cost is an object, you can always talk to your veterinarian and say, do you have a vet tech in the office who can do the toothbrushing? Because that'll be less money.
Oh, that's something I didn't know. Possibly it's a subtlety that we don't have at my vets here in the UK. I think because whenever I go there, there's the vet comes out, and then I guess they're vet techs or nurses, or some of them sometimes students, they come out with them. And I just don't know if, at least mine doesn't have that distinction, almost like you have your dentist and your hygienist.
Yes.
Who does the cleaning. Whereas here, I don't think I've ever met a hygienist. I've seen a dentist, and they never do cleanings here, which explains a lot. British people and teeth are not exactly famous for being, pristine, but they've never done a cleaning on me. They always say, "Oh, it looks great, and then send me off." I'm like, "What's the point of coming to the vet then? I mean, to the dentist then?" So I don't know how it works in this country if you can get that, but at least, but it's worth getting checked out. It's always worth getting checked out. If you're in the UK and you're worried about cost, most people know about it. There is the PVSA, I think, or the PDSA, which offers free veterinary service for your pets if you are on qualifying benefits, like if you're on unemployment or what we call job seekers allowance or whatever disability benefits. We have these different things. If you're on welfare, basically, if you're on some kind of thing, then you can get it for free. And so it's worth, so there's no excuse, basically. If you're in the UK, you can get free veterinary care. So if you have no money, if you're on low income, you can get it for free. So there's no excuse here in this country. And in the US, it can be a cost. So there are things you can do, like ask to see the other one.
See a vet tech instead of the veterinarian. And in the US, we also have a thing called Care Credit, which is a credit card that you can use specifically for veterinary care, where they don't charge any interest. So
that's cool.
And there are many programs that are probably similar to what you have as well.
Probably similar, yeah. And the other thing we have here is a free called Joli, Joli. It's an app, and you can actually have free consultation via the app, via a video consult with a veterinary nurse.
Oh, okay.
You got to pay for a vet. So if you want a vet video consult, you got to pay. It's cheap. It's cheaper than seeing your vet. But with a nurse, it's free, and you can have consultations. So I've used it once or twice when I was concerned. And so it's also worth noting that we have that. And there might be an equivalent in whoever is listening from the US or other countries, because we do have other countries that listen. It's worth just checking out what's available in those countries, because there's always some kind of solution or a charity that can help out, like Cats Protection or whatever other thing. There's always someone, or like Dr. Rachel's new charity she set up can help with certain things.
Yes.
And so there's always worth checking out. And I think it's really important. So
the story, what you said right at the beginning, don't do nothing. There's a lot of options out there. If you don't feel comfortable brushing your cat's teeth yourself, we just delineated all kinds of solutions for you to look into. So no excuse.
There's no excuses. Yeah. The wrong thing to do is nothing. The wrong thing to do is want a cat and not adopt one because you think you can't afford it, or you think you don't have time, or you think this, or you think that. You just need to talk to Dr. Rachel, talk to me, and we will share with you all the hints, tips, strategies, tools, and techniques that you need to know that you can afford a cat. There's homeless people that haven't you seen that movie about that homeless man that the cat came in and saved his, and he was a drug addict? I mean, look, if this drug riddled guy can have a cat, and the cat actually saved him. I forget the cat named Bob, right? It's such a touching story. It made me cry. Bob, the cat passed away recently. He was old. And so it's really, really sad. I was really sad to hear it. But if that guy can have a cat, then anyone can have a cat. And you know what? And chances are the cat will save your life like it did this gentleman, because it will bring its own energy and it will want to help you. So magical creatures. They are. I just saw Harry Potter. Well, not sorry. I just saw the Secrets of Dumbledore, the new movie with the Fantastic Beasts. So I'm all in Harry Potter mode now. So they're magical creatures. They're fantastic beasts. Cats are the real magic in the real world, not the wizarding world. So there are awesome things that you have. The last thing I thought we'd talk about in terms of cleaning is this idea that you need to bathe your cat. Some people think you need to do it monthly. I used to think you need to do it yearly. The truth is, it's not a dog. It's not a cat cleans itself. So unless it's got, it's my opinion and other people's as well, unless it's gotten filthy, like it's rolled around in the mud or it's got, dung on its behind because it's a long hair and it had a spout of diarrhea. Charlotte's had that happen. It's pretty gross. So unless something like that happens, you really don't need to whip out the shampoo, wet it in the bathtub, and give it a bath. And in fact, it can kind of be not so good to do because they have their scent, they have their dander, their pheromones, all that stuff, and you're just stripping it all off. So it's actually probably not a good idea to bathe your cat on a regular basis, only as and when needed. What do you think?
I agree 1,000,000%. So cats are fastidious and clean creatures. They bathe themselves. I mean, they're probably cleaner than we are. They spend a lot of the day grooming themselves and cleaning themselves. So there is no need to give a cat a bath. As you said, if for some reason something happened, they may need to be washed off. But basically, you do not need to give your cat a bath. And as you pointed out, there is a syndrome in cats called non-recognition syndrome or non-recognition aggression. And what this is when a cat has her scent changed, maybe they've gone to the vet, or if you decide to wash your cat, if you have a companion cat in the household, that cat may no longer recognize the cat who has this new scent on them, and there may be aggression between the two cats. So you really want that cat to have her original sense. And I do deal with a lot of people who, they can't help it. They bring their cat to the veterinarian. The cat comes back home and maybe they smell like alcohol. Maybe they smell like some type of medication.
Because he's had a couple drinks at the vet, a couple whiskeys.
Exactly. And the cat who was left behind does not recognize the cat anymore. And the same syndrome can rear its ugly head if you decide you want to bathe your cat, and especially if you use something perfumey or, it's definitely not going to be the cat's normal scent.
Yeah. I mean, I have a friend who takes her cat to the groomers regularly. And I'm like, wow, I mean, isn't that a waste of money? I mean, you're really annoying the cat and you're wasting your money because they don't need it. You can use a furminator to get the fur, even from a long hair out, when it's shedding season. And then to get it spray and ended up smelling like bubble gum or whatever, it's ridiculous for a cat. And it's actually probably not good for the cat at all.
I know. And so good, and it's stressful. I mean,
it's stressful.
Anytime you bring your cat somewhere, out of their environment, the cat is extremely stressed out. So to bring your cat to be groomed when it's something the cat doesn't even need is really
a waste of time, is waste of money, and annoying to the cat. Really not a good idea. They get maybe they get used to it and all that, but I just think it's a waste of money. You don't need to nobody needs to do that. And
and the first thing your cat is going to do after you bring your cat to the groomer is groom herself constantly to get rid of all of that.
Yeah, they're cleaner. I am obsessed with my cat. I worship my cats, and so I'm constantly smelling them because I'm giving them kisses and inhaling their fur and do you know what? They smell great.
They
They
probably
don't
smell pristine, right? Yeah.
they don't smell, but they've never smelled. I've never gone to Emily or Charlotte and been like, "Oh, you don't smell so good." Even in the sweaty summer when they're hot and over, they never smell bad. They really don't. So it's not an issue. It's not like a dog where you leave it and a week and then it starts to stink to high heaven after a week. My aunt used to have 2 dogs and I lived with her, and it's like these things were cute, but the Yorkie and a pug. But man, after a week and a half, they would start to stink. It was a horrible, horrible smell. So then they'd go to the groomers and then they'd be fine. But literally, they were very smelly animals. Cats are not like that. My cats haven't had a bath in years and they don't smell bad. They smell good. The one thing you can do, which I do recommend, and if you need information on this, just DM me on social media, Cat Lady Justin, and I'll send you the information. Is I know where to get this dry cat shampoo. And it's from a wonderful company that specializes in organic, wild crafted ingredients. It's actually the same company I use for my hair care. Whatever, that's a whole other issue. You may hate my hair, but I use their products because they're fantastic. You could eat them. They taste awful, but they're organic, wild crafted ingredients. And same with the cat. So it's this beautiful dry shampoo. And it's got amazing ingredients in it, including a bit of catnip and stuff. And the cats love it because it can be, you put it on your hands and it's a moment of cat massage. It's like a spa day for the cat. It doesn't strip away their natural. Now, you obviously don't want to do this every day, right? So It doesn't strip away their natural scent. You just put it in, you massage them just a very little bit, and then you brush them. And it's like spa day for a cat. That's something that you may consider doing. And like I said, if you need the information, if you want it, I'm not going to give you the full pitch here, but if you want the information of who they are and everything, then just, DM me. I'll send you their information, or I'll post it in the Kitty Boss group if it's requested. If it's not requested, we'll leave it. But they are an American company. They ship worldwide, but it's obviously expensive to ship worldwide. But if you're in the US, highly recommend their products, which is also available, I think, for dogs and for horses. But I use the cat one, obviously. And so and they have a people one too, which I've tried for dry shampoo for people. And that one was very, very good as well. But they specifically have one for cats, and I don't do it regularly. Again, I do it as and when, the mood strikes me, because it's a wonderful thing. The cats enjoy it. Doesn't cause non-recognition or annoy them. And so it's just something that I do once in a while. But again, even that, it's a luxury. It's not a necessity. You don't have to spend the money on it. It's not expensive, but you don't have to waste your time with it if you don't want to. It's a luxury, not a necessity. I don't do it regularly, just once in a while. So that's the thing, is cleaning the cats. The actual cat I wanted to get into, because it's really important to know that they groom themselves, and you don't have to clean your cat and annoy the hell out of it. And then there's the litter box, and that's the other thing. So you want to keep a clean litter box, because cats get annoyed when it's too dirty. Certainly my cats let me know when it's too dirty. In fact, they're cute because they'll call me to clean the damn litter box. So they'll start meow, 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 and I'll run down the stairs. What do you want? And then they walk me over and they're like, oh, okay, you've left a poo in there. And so they actually tell me when to clean up after them. But you also don't want to overdo it. Like it's for the same reason of their scent is on it and their territory, and that includes in the urine and everything. But if you sit there and disinfect that litter box with Lysol or whatever, like every day or every week, you're overdoing it.
Yes.
You do want to disinfect the thing. You don't want to leave a cesspool of pee and poo.
Yes.
But you want to, I was having a Gilbert Gottfried moment where I very nearly said S and and P about the dirty words, but pee and poo. But you do not want to overdo that either with the disinfectants, because that again will create a non-recognition and what's this thing, this bog. You want to let them have their territory, and that includes their odors.
Yes. And in general, with all of their things, their scratching post, their napping beds, you don't need to keep cleaning those items. I see people, when they see too much cat fur in the bed, the cat bed, they think it's time to vacuum it. But that's when the cat likes it the best, when it has all of her scents and fur in there.
Exactly.
And
That's one thing that they recognize. That's like my space. So obviously, if it's vomited on it, you want to clean it. Like that happened to me. She decided to puke on it, so I cleaned it. But unless that happens,
right,
that's their odor. They enjoy it.
And when the scratching post gets a little tattered, again, that's when they like it the best. They've had their scents all over it. So
yeah. And then there's a fine line though, because it gets too tattered, and then it can become a little bit of a hazard with the sisal all getting in there, swallowing it and all that. So you don't want to get it too tattered, but you also don't need to replace it. It doesn't have to look pristine every time.
Exactly. I mean, if you see little filaments, don't worry about it. Obviously, if you see big chunks taken out of it, then it might be time. But
yeah, a bit like my wicker baskets. Charlotte's part beaver, so if she sees a wicker basket, that's it. It's coming out. It's coming apart slowly, So she and I leave it for her now as like extra scratching posts because it's too cute, and also like what am I going to do? So I've given up on wicker, and she likes it. So that's another thing to keep in mind is if your cat likes something, you might want to just gift it to them and say, okay, so I'm not going to be a collector of wicker baskets. I'm going to just gift those to the cat and with love. So that's sort of the stuff I wanted to talk to you about in the month of April, my birthday month, and the month of, springtime, spring cleaning, all these things having to do with hygiene and cats and everything. And of course, next month is going to be the month of May.
No.
I can't believe it's already May. It means summer is right around the corner, and we'll have things to talk about, of course, with heat and, and all that kind of stuff. I definitely have things to talk about there. I bought an air conditioning unit just for my cat.
Oh, well, I do the same thing. When I leave the house, I want to make sure my cats are comfortable. So the AC stay on in the hot weather. Yes.
Oh yeah. Yes. So yeah. But I know you and I. But we'll talk about that in the summer, in our summer episode. So anyway, I'll leave you with a last word. Is there anything else you'd like to say or ask or tell people before we end off?
Well, yes. I mean, basically just to reiterate what we talked about, that smell to a cat is so important. So no need to bathe them. No need to keep changing all of their items out all the time. Let them have those friendly, feel-good pheromones that they deposit. Let those linger for the cat, and the cat will be happier.
Awesome. So thank you very much for joining me on the Kitty Boss podcast for our catch-up, our official catch-up for the month. And I'm glad you're feeling better. Thank you. Have a wonderful rest of April, and I'll see you in the multiverse, in the metaverse, and we'll catch up again in the month of May.
Perfect. Looking forward to it. Thank you.
Me too.